Is the MCU on its last leg? Is this the end of an era for film? Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. My name is Brandon Aries, and welcome to The Sanctuary. With the mixed reactions of the beginning of Phase 5 tipping off with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, this question is growing to be a real concern. Are we in the dark days of the MCU? I mean, let's also face it, Phase 4 had some mixed feelings as well. But the main points that came from Phase 4 were mostly,
the movies are just mid.
They just feel disconnected.
Well, I'm telling you, these movies just don't hit the same.
I want to touch on all three of these points in my perspective. The MCU is mid! Now, playing devil's advocate, I'll admit, some of the movies that came out in Phase 4 made me agree with this point to an extent. I mean, if we look back, Phase 4 started with Black Widow, which was kind of odd considering, well, she's dead. But we got Yelena and Red Guardian, who are now in the Thunderbolts.
Okay.
I really do not want to talk about Eternals. Never will I ever go and turn on Disney Plus and say, you know what? Let's watch Eternals. No, not gonna happen. Thor: Love and Thunder, one word, goofy. Shang-Chi,
That is bloody lovely.
Multiverse of Madness.
I mean, it's alright, like.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And Spider-Man: No Way Home.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
I'm not really going to get into the shows, as this is more so talking about the films of the MCU. The shows I can maybe talk about in a separate video. All these films and TV shows were said to have a disconnected feeling with the audience. Almost like each project wasn't exactly leading to something or giving us that feeling that everything was connected. And those people are right, to an extent. Let me explain. Endgame was the finale of a 10-year buildup of over 22 films leading to this one. Phase 4 is the rebirth phase. You have to rebuild everything from Endgame, the aftermath of Endgame. Tony Stark, dead. Captain America, gone. Nobody knows where he is, and he's old. Black Widow, dead. Hawkeye, what? Did you get it? Never mind. Thor, goofy. And Hulk is around, I guess. Either way, the original Avengers are gone. This gives new heroes time and a chance to step up to the plate and be the new Avengers. However, something like that, like I said, takes time, and it takes isolated time. Time to give those characters their own development before they go out and meet and connect and join forces with other heroes. Sam Wilson finally accepts being Captain America. Spider-Man finally becomes his own hero without the need of anybody helping him. And Shuri carries T'Challa's legacy by being the new Black Panther. We're also seeing some setup for the Young Avengers. You're rebuilding an already expanding universe. Think about how hard that is. Of course, things are going to take longer to bring together into a big event, but when that happens, things just don't hit the same way like they used to. Now, for all of you that have that point in their arsenal, listen up. When it comes to things not, quote, hitting the same as they used to, it's not the movies that are different, per se. It's you. Yeah, you're different, because you, the audience member, go through this crazy ride that we like to call life. For instance, I was 10 years old when the MCU first took off and started in Phase 1. Now, I'm approaching 25. Even I'll admit that the experience of going to the movies and seeing these films is not like it used to be. I think the last big experience I had in the theater with an MCU film was Spider-Man: No Way Home. What I think some people don't understand is that not every MCU movie is going to be an Endgame level film. People are losing all hope saying that all MCU movies after Endgame suck. That's not true. I mean, sure, these same fans are still excited for Fantastic Four, Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars, but with the odd aftertaste of Phase 4 and the mixed impressions starting off Phase 5, that does kind of beg the question. Is this the end of the MCU? For some, I think so. You have a group of people out there that are content with the ending of Endgame, and that ending being the, quote, end of the MCU. Like, if they made no more movies, that would have been it. And I respect that. Fact of the matter is, it was merely the end of that saga, and it was also the end of that time in our lives. Now we're in the multiverse saga. We're also in a new saga of our lives. You see where I'm going with this? I grew up watching the Infinity Saga. Now I'm grown and I'm watching the Multiverse Saga. And maybe a saga or two down the line, I'll watch these movies with my kids. So to answer this question, the MCU is not over. The child that we knew as the MCU has grown, just like you or I have. And now it's embarking on its own new chapter, just like you or I am. But that's all I have to say about the dark days of the MCU. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like. It is always so much appreciated here in the sanctuary. If you're new here, subscribe and hit that notification bell for every week this lover boy pops up in your feed. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace.